and welcome to HornetCast episode 19. Top of the morning to you. It's St. Patrick's Day, correct? We're filming this on St. Patrick's Day. We got the green going here. You guys are going to get pinched because you don't have green on. You don't know about that, do you? You know about that? Okay. All right. Have you been pinched today?
No.
You haven't?
Not yet.
All right. Well, you can see we have a lot of VIP guests today. And these VIP guests are actually all associated with an incredible program that happens each year at CAG called TEDx. Correct? That's why you guys are here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to talk about TEDx, but first, if each of you could introduce yourself and tell us how you're connected to TEDx. Like, what is your role?
Okay, hello, my name is Tatiana and I am a speaker in TEDx.
Hi, my name is Jaden. I'm the lead organizer of TEDx. And we successfully finished our 2026 TEDx event this January. So very happy and very proud of everyone.
And my name is Don, and I was an audience member in TEDx.
I am Caroline Ashker, and I was the adult advisor for TEDx this year.
Oh, my name is Andre, and I was also a speaker last year, and I had a really fun time.
Hello, my name is Andres, and I am representing the committees that organize TEDx.
Okay, so TEDx, when I first got here 3 years ago, TEDx was mostly run, kind of organized by the advisors, and it was a standalone like event type planning thing. But last year it changed to a club, if I'm correct.
That's
Is that-
very
is
true.
that true?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about your club, when it starts, how long you took to plan it, when the event happened, what happened with the event. Challenge. You can talk about challenges too, Jay. I know there's a few IT challenges, right?
Definitely. Some funny stories in the backstage. A lot of things to share, but if you guys don't mind, I'll start off with how TEDx started this year and how it unraveled into an event. The lead organizers actually started pretty early, so we had a head start from June. So our first meeting was during the summer when we got to choose the committees.
What, you came to school during the summer and worked?
No, we
Virtual?
connected virtually.
Ah, okay.
So pretty decent actually.
Dedication.
So all organizers and Alejandro stayed in Guatemala. I was in Korea, so we connected remotely, which was a special experience because I've never done something like a meeting like this, executive meeting across like the different countries, like through like virtual platforms.
Was it like the middle of the night for you in Korea?
Oh yeah, it was. we had different time zones. So it was hard for me to adapt the first few weeks, but you know, TEDx was my priority. It was very important because we had to do committee selections, like preliminary round for speakers, which was very important. Fortunately, due to that head start, we got to start a little bit earlier with drafting the speeches, the final writing piece of the TEDx draft for our speech. The committees also got to distribute them into different roles. So, you know, there's like the communication and media committee. There's also the logistics committee, around 7. So yeah, that's how we started. And then up until winter break, we also invited a new public curator coach, right? The speaking coach.
She was with us
Alexandra.
since last year.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she was an awesome person. She helped us a lot for the past few months to prepare for speakers, and I think that was like the chronology of like the basic overview of how TEDx functioned. And then January we embarked on our journey of TEDx,
Of the actual event.
of the actual event. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have a theme for TEDx? Like you had a theme this year where everybody had to prepare their speeches based on that theme, correct?
So just to comment a little bit, we ran a survey
Okay.
in January 2025, and kids chose the themes. The themes were proposed by actually Miss Tracy, Miss Ranieri, and a couple more teachers. And then the themes were put on the table for students to choose, and they chose the theme of last year, which was
Moments that
Moments
move
that
us.
move us.
yes, moments
Moments
that.
that move us.
Yeah. And after that, we opened the application for students to apply as a speaker or an organizer, as well as committee members. And this is where as lead organizers, we took it from there during the summer to organize the structure of the club. Because as you said, Dr. Don, it's this is the first year that TEDx becomes a club. Right. And we had to put a lot of structure for it, processes in place. It's still not perfect, but we are refining it. And I'm sure that next year's Unseen is going to be awesome.
Next year's Unseen.
Yeah, the unseen.
That's the theme.
That's the
Yes.
theme. That's the theme.
Unseen. Wow, that could be a very powerful theme.
Yeah.
Okay, and are students applying for already? Is that process started, or is that start
Yeah.
later?
So today, actually, after school, we
Today?
have our first orientation for the
Okay.
new applicants. I think we were really happy when we saw that we got like approximately 50 applications for the next following school
Wow.
year,
Yeah.
including all speakers and committee members, which is awesome because, you know, all the different people are bringing their fresh ideas, their perspectives, their talents to the TEDx Club to make it even better, to prosper even more. So today, after school, Ms. Ashker, Ms. McClem, and I will, and also the committee members and speakers will describe their roles, give some insights and experiences of TEDx from last year, and hopefully they get some information for strengthening their stance in joining TEDx next year.
Is that when you usually have your club? Is on Fridays, or
Uh,
is it this is a special meeting?
no, we
Tuesdays.
always have it Tuesdays.
Yeah,
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And how many students were in the club this last year?
A bunch.
Around
Yeah.
30
Around
plus.
30.
30 plus.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that's
Yeah.
a huge club.
Yeah.
Right. And you think because you had 50 applications, it's even going to be bigger this next year,
It
or are you going to try to keep it to around 30?
We do. But right now, so some of the things that have changed over the years for TEDx is that we do not expect the speakers to come with their speech already done. So we do some creative writing workshops inside the club during club time. And so we have around 30 speakers, 30 applicants
To
and-
speak.
To speak.
And how many actually get to speak?
Only 10.
So
Only 10.
Only a third.
Yes.
Very
Yes.
competitive.
Yeah. And so what we're going to do right now is that we're going to walk them through with the help of the curators that were in the club and the speakers that were in the club this year, and they can speak to their experience right now. We're going to walk them through how they can write something that can impact an audience and be authentic to the theme and to what they really want to voice.
That's kind of cool because I was just thinking about this with 30 students wanting to speak. And of course, only 10 get to speak. But if you do this method of the workshops and supporting them and helping them develop their idea, come up with something that they want to share with the community, they get a lot of benefit out of that. Even if they don't get to speak in the TEDx or the TED Talk,
Yeah.
they do get to, I'm assuming they maybe practice with each other too, and they have an opportunity to have their voice be heard. They develop their writing skills, they develop their speaking skills. So it's a win-win, even though they might not get to speak. And I imagine they might have other roles too, where they might help out with other things or be involved. So am I just spitballing here? or
No,
is
no,
this
that's
solid?
very
that's,
true.
That's
and
accurate.
I think right now, what's going to happen is that they go through the process and they know ahead of time, because we do sign a contract with
Okay.
them, that this is the choice at the moment is only preliminary, and that the final list of speakers will be at the end of these 4 or 5 drafts that we do. Okay.
Right.
And so maybe Andre, you can talk about your experience as a speaker.
Yeah, I think I found the club like very great organized, you know. We had a lot of time to prepare our speeches and to even research. And maybe a tip I could share for all the future speakers will be to like find something you're actually passionate about, because then I think everything else will come easy. Like if you find something you actually care about and you want to share, you'll have no trouble researching or writing your speech. You actually have a lot of fun.
And Andre, tell us about what your topic was that you did your TED Talk on.
My topic was to how to build a self-believing identity, and basically I talked about how meeting like small daily goals actually build your confidence. So when you face like a huge challenge, you're prepared and you actually feel confident to go out there and achieve it.
And your huge challenge, you got to tell the audience about your huge challenge because it was very inspirational.
Yeah, I had a broken foot right before a world championship kickboxing fight, and I talked about how like all the goals I said before helped me like feel prepared for that moment, even though I had like a broken foot and I didn't feel like I had 100% ready to fight. I still had like the confidence and the ability to go out there and perform, even though I wasn't in my best conditions.
I won't tell you what my wife said about that after she heard that. Good thing she's not your mom because she probably wouldn't have let you compete. But I mean, it was very inspirational. That was one of the 10 TED Talks that just left a deep impression on me as a human being.
Thank you
And
for
so I think kudos to you, Andre, for speaking and being vulnerable enough to talk about an experience in your life that really moved you as a person, as an individual, moments that moved, right? And moved me as a person that was able to hear your TED Talk. But TED Talks are a little bit, it's very structured. Like
Yeah.
TED Talks, we can't just like invite the whole world, and we can't just like give everybody a link and here you go, or perform it just on our own in the courtyard here.
Yeah.
So tell us about the guidelines that TED Talks has for us to be able to have a TEDx CAG.
So we do have a license. So we always renew our official license for TEDx every year.
Okay.
So during the summer, Alejandro and I worked on renewing the license. Mostly Alejandro as an apprentice. I learned how to renew the license for TEDx. So I
So
can
he's
do
on
it.
his own this year.
Yeah, so I'm on my own this year doing the license work and all the different necessary documentations or like things to fill out for getting the license for this year. We always try to emphasize the fact that a lot of people are really not frustrated, but they really want to be in part of like seeing the TEDx event. They want to be involved in this community. They're always interested, but we can only offer limited space. So we only get to invite 100 people, and that is not because our auditorium is small. Our auditorium is awesome, but the problem is our license only allows up to 100 people. So
Okay.
we always try to emphasize that, but yeah, it's always sad that we are only offering this amount of people, but at the same time, it kind of allows a space for people who are genuinely interested in listening to these TEDx events, like how Andrea and Tatiana actually inspired the people, the audience listening to it. So
Yeah, Tatiana had a great TED Talk too.
Thank
she delivered in Spanish, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Si quieres hablar en español en ese Oreca, sí puede serlo, no hay problema.
Thank
Sí.
you.
So that license allows us to have not just the club, but to offer and open the TEDx event at CAG.
Yeah, and I think besides that, even though it's only 100 people, I think like the platform of TEDx and the speeches being uploaded to the internet, I think it gives it an access to not only the people that go to the event to get like moved and get inspired, but also all the people around the world that have access to the videos and they can go out and search it, you know?
I've noticed in your weekly bulletin that they're releasing one TED Talk a week,
That week, yes.
which is kind of cool. I like that. And I hope that all the students and their families are watching them because these are moments that move that will continue to move, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's the goal. So maybe Tatiana should tell us about her TED Talk.
Okay, I am gonna explain in Spanish.
Okay, está bien.
Fue una experiencia muy linda, ya que al menos cuando entré a TEDx lo miraba muy superficial de voy a dar una plática y ya. Pero creo que durante el proceso conecté mucho conmigo misma y de entender el impacto que iba a tener hacerlo. Entonces, como mi plática fue de lenguaje, sí fue complicado porque era algo que no solo tenía que decir, sino representar. Entonces fue algo muy especial del poder compartirlo, porque sabía que no era la única que en algún momento se había sentido así. Entonces fue algo muy lindo, tanto el proceso como de uno cree que va solo por dar una plática, pero realmente uno conecta con uno mismo y es representar eso delante de los demás. Entonces fue muy lindo.
muy poderoso.
Sí.
We
Yes.
need to recognize the last part of Tatiana's speech.
Yes.
Her speech was delivered in Spanish, and then she later on transitioned to English, showing her
Yes.
language capabilities of how she is like transcending the borders with her language abilities, learning from CAG. It was great, and that idea mainly came from Tatiana, but the curators and all the TEDx members
Culture and
kind of guided her pathway of how we can actually craft her speech to the best version possible, and it was great. That last part actually like resonated with me a lot as a language learner of Spanish here. It was very impactful.
Yeah, super creative too.
Thank
I believe that not only does the speech itself, but the experience that Tatiana went
Yes.
through, right? The whole TEDx experience. Because Tatiana, how many times did you change your speech? Did you have to edit it?
Like 20?
20.
Yeah.
Just 20.
And so I think this is worth sharing because many people probably are hesitant to apply to speak because they don't have a clear idea about what they want to talk about. And that's the whole point behind this, the change in the structure of TEDx, and offering those writing workshops, because we believe that every student has a story to tell.
Yeah.
And it's worth sharing, and it's going to have an impact on others because these experiences are unique for you as a generation. So it's important for you to share it. And so I think this is an invitation that I would like to extend to all students on campus. If you have an idea you're not sure about, but there's something that drives you, as Andre was also suggesting, please apply and don't be afraid because we are going to help you. We have curators, we have speakers that can share their experience and they can motivate you to do a great job like Tatiana and Andre did.
Yeah, and also like to the people that are applying, you don't have to have your full idea. Like that's what TEDx is about, like forming your idea, maybe adding some extra things and like shaping it so it can be the best possible. Like yeah, besides that, I think it's a good like guiding process, and like I said, like you don't have to come with your full idea prepared or your speech. That's why the guiding is about.
Awesome. Do we have a date for Unseen?
We don't yet because of logistics, since we are part of this huge master facility plan.
Right? And there might not be an auditorium.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we are depending on the plans that Mr. Quinones and Miss McClem are, processing together in order to find a place. But it's going to be probably the second or third week of January.
Okay.
So we're waiting on defining that. I would love if you can tell us about your experience about like a committee member, okay, as a committee member.
Okay, so for me, being part of the committee part, it was very meaningful. It was incredible because I got to realize all the small things that are done behind the scenes and how they impact the experience of the audience. For example, I was part of the Experience and Environment Committee, and I had to like create all the decorations with my team and make sure the food is delivered well and that it's safe to eat. And those are a lot of things that have to be done by someone, and it's really impactful because you really learn a lot about yourself too, because you get to understand how to like organize better and how you can make an impact in any place you are.
How many people did you have on your team?
We were 3 people.
3 people.
Yes.
And you have to know how awesome they did because the decorations, every table that was in the lobby, maybe there was like 3 or 4 speakers that spoke, and then we came out to the tables for like a little interlude, and every table had balloons that matched their speeches. Like there was like boxing gloves for your table, I think, right? So you guys really tied it together, and then also we were able to write little notes at each of those tables for each of the TED
Speakers.
Talk
I
speakers.
still
right?
have them in my room.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
that's something that you'll treasure, right?
Yeah.
A
I'll keep
nice
them.
congratulatory note, or maybe a note saying how it impacted an individual person, like how it resonated with them. So Your team did awesome.
Yeah,
That
thank
was
you.
very cool.
I also have to say that we are a community and we all helped each other
Yeah.
because not all committees were doing something because they done it before. For example, logistics was done because it was like setting the cameras up, so they helped us. So it was everyone was helping us
All
that
hands
day.
on deck.
Yes, and
Yeah.
also Miss Ashberg gave us a lot of ideas. So even though we were only 3 people in the committee, everyone was part of it.
But Andres, this is only one committee, right? Like
Yes.
we have 6 other committees,
Yes,
right?
there are many
Uh-huh.
committees because maybe you're not very creative, but you are very good at logistics or you are very good at organizing the time that when the speeches are going to be delivered.
Mhm.
So there are many ways to contribute to this
And
event.
advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
There was also like possible merging ideas. So like Andres mentioned about like cross committee connections. A lot of committees helped each other out, and especially something that personally impressed me was how we came up with the idea of the TEDx flags on the cupcakes. Something
Oh,
something so
yes.
specific,
Yes.
something that can be deemed as so small, but those small details actually make the huge difference. And how people got to treasure that experience and not only listening to the speeches, but thanks to the help of all the committee members, we got to operate even better, more advanced experience, even outside of the auditorium, interacting with others, just offering them a platform of interaction and sharing ideas.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
it's a beautiful experience, and I think what we're trying to set as a new experience for the students that are part of TEDx is collaboration. You know, we are all collaborating towards a greater event, right? And so every year we refine the process based on the feedback that we get from the guests, based on the feedback that we get from the committee members and the speakers. So right after the event ended, there was a survey that went out to the audience, and this is where Jaden discovered that people want to have more access, or they want to invite more guests to TEDx. And so these are things that surface when we are reading this feedback or the survey. We also got feedback from the people that were part of TEDx, organizers and speakers. They went through like a feedback protocol, and they provided whether the number of participants in the committees was enough or not, whether they would like to change something about the responsibility. And based on that, we had to merge certain committees together. This is what Jaden was talking about. We believe that it's going to become better and better. I know that every time you come out of the door, you tell me, I never thought it's going to be any better.
I think you raised it to a level this year. I don't know how you surpassed that.
Yeah, well,
It's going to be so incredible next year.
I believe you're going to be more impressed next year. The fact that we have 30 speakers, this is very impressive, because I think the greater the pool, the better speeches we're going to get, and the better speakers we're going to get on stage next year. So I'm really excited about, first of all, the theme, the unseen, and the speakers.
I do too. It's pretty awesome. We usually end our Hornet cast with a Go Hornets, but I think we should do it different this time. Is it called CAGX or TEDx or what is it called? The big sign on the stage was what? The big
It's
red letters.
TEDx, American School of Guatemala
Yeah.
Youth.
TEDx, that's too much to say. I was going to say, let's say that.
Well, if you short it out to CAG, TEDx CAG Youth.
TEDx CAG Youth.
Yeah.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
TEDx CAG Youth.